August 5, around 6:30. I think we completed harvesting amyanan. And dark clouds up in the sky. I hear lightning and thunder. I hope that the sacks of rice were picked up. It happens every night around this time. Sometimes it's 5 o'clock, sometimes it's around 6, sometimes it's around 7, sometimes it's like midnight. So in this case it's around 6:30. Yesterday was 5. So wonder no more why wet seasons the yield is not same as dry season. And I came to the admission that it will never be better than dry season. So what then what? What are a farmer supposed to do? I think it's only an adjustment of the scheduling if one is able to do that. So I'm already planning to schedule next year's second crops. We will be transplanting April. After we're done with harvesting all of the rice field middle March, then we will prepare for middle April transplanting, so that we will be harvesting third week July. That's the target, and we gotta do it in order to change the yield. I changed the yield or the harvest time from September, first week September, before middle September, all things are done. And then I changed it to, because of what I've observed, the weather pattern, I changed it to all of the rice field harvested before or during middle August. And now with this kind of weather, and it's changing, quite frankly. And if you don't change with it, if a farmer doesn't change with it, it's gonna be challenging. So I prefer to believe that by changing the harvesting schedule, that at least better than the yield we experienced in 2024. It's now around 10 to 7, and the evening the clouds just became so dark and lightning up in the sky, and it's starting to rain cats and dogs. It's like this most nights now. I mean, it's been like this, let's see, 5 nights I think. It's or 4 nights. So it's challenging. It's nice to have rain. What can I say? The rain, it rains on all people in Isabela. The rain is a little bit milder comparing from last night. Last night was really strong. So tonight the rain is a little bit gentle. There's wind. The wind is not as gusty as last night also. So maybe it will change. Lots of lightning is quite a bit flashing up in the sky. I hope that they've gotten all of the rice sack, because that's a big job having to dry the rice at the drying mill. Yeah, wet season and yield. Uh, I mean, I don't like repeating myself. It's just I gotta drum it into my head that this is the fact of life. Growing rice in the Philippines during wet season is challenging. 8 August noon. So this place will be harvested today. So we're gonna take some samples. Actually, I think they're starting to harvest over there. So this is our neighbor's rice. And they left it like this because there's no water to damage the panicles. As you can see, the toppling is moving east. So we'll see how this goes. I've asked them to, I asked Arvin to give me a couple of samples. So he's gonna cut 25 hills here and then 25 hills over there. So I'm gonna check the biomass of the samples. So this is Mormon. So the spikelet is ripened enough that it's okay to harvest the rice field. So they'll be harvesting 2 hectares today. So let's see what's gonna happen. So Arvin is gonna take a sample and I'm gonna weigh the mass, and that should give me a pretty good idea what we're gonna harvest today. So a few days ago they harvested here and we gotten 15 cabans here. So we'll see what is going to happen. So I got a sample from Mormon and then from Laod. This is the front half, and then the latter half way south of the submersible. So I'm going to weigh them and see what the biomass is like. So the mass of this is 6.6. So if we take the estimate of 6.6 biomass, what would be the yield? So let me do some calculation. So with 6.6 kilos per square meter, they actually cut 25 hills. So 25 hills would have this mass. So 6.6 kilos multiplied by 0.1144 times 10,000 square meter. The corrected yield would be 7.5 tons or 7,500 kilos. So we'll see what the actual yield is going to be for Mormon. So this is the first sample of Laod, the front or close to the road. So it's 5.3 kilos. So I'm gonna sample the other one. So this is the sample of the other one way at the back. So it's about 6.6 kilos. So we'll see what it look like. Let's see what would, oh yeah. So 6.6 plus 6 point, so So 6.6 plus 5.3, that then the average. Let me just do some calculation. So the average of the two samples from Laod is 5.95 kilos, and multiply that by 0.1144 times 10,000 square meter is 6.5 tons, I think. Let me just quickly check that. Yeah, it's 6.8 tons, not 6.5. So um, we'll see what the actual yield is after they harvest it and weigh the caban. So we're harvesting 2 hectare today. So this being Mormon, and the mass sample is 6.6, and the panicle mass should be 1.65 kilos. So let's see if it is 1.65 kilos. I'm just gonna disassemble this and get at the mass of the spikelet. And this too, let's see, 6. It should be around 1.3 kilos, something like that. I'll have to check. So, but this one is 1.65. So this is Mormon sample. The panicle count is, or teller count is 489. Biomass is 6.6. Now I'm going to extract the spikelet from this mess. So the mass of the Mormon is 1.67, and my calculation was fairly close to 1.67. It's 1.66, I think, or 1.6. It don't matter. I mean 1.6, what, 2 sig fig. So with 0.25 as the yield or harvest index, um, so just basically 6.6 times 0.25 will give you 1.6, which is exactly what the harvest extracted spikelet mass was. So they match. That's the trend I was talking about. I saw it right away. So this is the Laod sample. It's 5.2 kilos. So multiply that by 0.25. I'll just quickly check. So the spikelet mass would be 1.3 kilos. So I'm gonna disassemble this and then get at the mass. So the count here is 445 tellers. The biomass was 5.2, and I'm going to check disassemble it and check the spikelet mass. Well, the mass of the spikelet is 1.6. It isn't 1.3. So the 0.25 is not exactly the value for this. However, it's close enough. So the mass of this is 6.5, say. So what is 6.5 times 0.25? So that would translate to 1.6. So we'll see if it is, if it's close enough. Well, this seems to be 588 tellers or spikelet, or tellers or panicles. Maybe I miscounted them because I was distracted several times. So the biomass was 6.6. When I have it all disassembled, the spikelet be the mass should be 1.6, something like that. Well, let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, the mass here is around 1.78 or 1.8. So it's a little bit higher by 200 grams or zero point 0.2. So the 0.25 is not exact number. However, it's close enough. So let's see. I'm going to add the two. It's 1.66 or 1.7 plus 1.8. and use the 0.4575 to get the mass or yield, estimated yield. So the average of the two uh, is 1.75 kilos. 1.66 or 1.7 plus 1.8, and the average of that is 1.75. So I'm gonna now estimate the yield. So I did the math. So for Laod, we would be around 8 tons per hectare. So let me see, I can't remember what the Mormon was. It's around the same. So both of them, in theory, we would have 16 tons. Let's see what the day hold. Hopefully it is.